Yeah. So while ending of the session, Govardhan has asked a question: the difference between hazard and the damage. So when I say hazard and damage, so if you lose control over the hazard, you will be end up with damage. Okay, hazard is nothing but something which has potential to cause human injury, environmental pollution, property loss or property damage, etc. Damage, either it is in a damage to the humans, damage to the environment, or damage to the property. Damage is nothing but the result of an accident or the consequences of an accident.
Sir, sorry, I think hazard is natural damage, like
Sorry,
the environmental damage or natural damage. Hazard means
what is mean by nature and environment?
if any suddenly occurs in the hazards like that,
Uh-huh.
some damage occurs in suddenly, so that is called the hazards. Like hazard means exact meaning in vipattu, suddenly it occurs.
ఓకే. సో సడన్లీ అక్కర్స్ అని చెప్పలేము. ఏదైనా అవ్వచ్చు. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇప్పుడు
Okay.
షార్ప్ నైఫ్ ఉంది.
అవును సార్.
దానివల్ల హజార్డ్ అంటే ఏమంటాం, మనం ప్రమాదం అంటాము. కత్తితో
అవును
మనకు
సార్.
ప్రమాదం ఉందా?
అవును సార్.
ఏంటి, అంటిల్ అన్లెస్ యు ఆర్ నాట్ హ్యాండ్లింగ్ ఇట్ ప్రాపర్లీ,
ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ.
ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ ఎన్ హజార్డ్.
ఎస్ సార్.
If you are handling properly, if you are not handling properly, yes, it is an hazard. Even pen,
ఎస్ సార్.
either pen it is an hazard. No, if you are using it
నో.
for the right purpose.
ఎస్
If you
సార్.
are using
ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ.
for the wrong purpose, the pen also it is having an hazard. It
హజార్డ్.
has a potential in the sense it can create a harm. It can create or it can injure a human. It can create
ఓకే.
a damage to the property.
షూర్ సార్. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, I'll share my screen again. Just a second, please. Okay. Hope my screen is visible. Okay, yeah. So we are discussing the total loss control and total loss prevention. As we mentioned, if you are preventing or you are applying the engineering controls to avoid this total loss control, that is nothing but total loss prevention. Here you are achieving the two sides. One is you are preventing the damage to the property, and also you are preventing human injuries. That is total loss prevention. Now we'll try to understand this the concept of total loss control. So it is an evolution from injury prevention to the control of all business losses by application of sound management principles. So what is meant by sound management principles? So investigations, inspections, process controls, processes, procedures, overview, review of the processes, review of the accidents, and also implementation of control measures, etc. Everything will come in. It is a system of reporting and controlling all the incidents, however small, whether the associated loss is small or large. All incidents are examined, potential losses estimated, and recommendations are made and accepted upon to avoid the repetitions. So, what is the system? Total loss control. So, whatever it is. So, in our cases, either it is a near miss also, they will report. Either it is a reportable accident also, they will report. They won't ignore, yes, okay, it is just a near miss. Let us need not to report. So, small or big, they will report all the cases and they will investigate all the cases. They will take corrective action, whatever they have reported to avoid the repetition of similar incidents or accidents. It is a program to eliminate unnecessary cost by means of identification of downgrading the situations or measurements of loss potential, selection of methods to control the situation. One second, somebody. I request everybody please be on mute for the sake of me and for the sake of other participants. Okay. Yeah. It is a program to eliminate unnecessary cost by means of identification of downgrading situations or measurement of loss potential, selection of methods to control the situation, and finally, implementation of the methods within the industrial practices. A downgrade incident could be defined as any deviation in accepted performance levels resulting in injury, occupational sickness or diseases, property damage, fire and explosion, breaches or security, pollution, product liability, and also business interruptions. When we say downgrading incident, it could be defined as any deviation in accepted performance levels. Accepted level. Sometimes what will happen, some of the organization they feel that until unless he is reported to the hospital or any rest required, I mean simply near misses they won't accept. They won't consider as an incident. They will not report as per their systems until unless you are doing first aid. They won't take that incident into the consideration. That is downgrading of systems. Now we'll see development of this concept, how it has been developed. So historically, the concept is evolved from H.W. Henrich. He created a ratio. I think most of the people they are familiar with 129 and 300 cases. So what he has done is he has done in a research. So he assumed, or he's assumed that for one serious injury, there may be a 29 minor cases. Here it is, there may be a 29. May in the sense either may be more than 29 or less than 29. And 300 non-injury accidents. So for one serious case, when I say serious, I'll assume it is in a fatal case. One fatal, he assuming that 29 minor cases. It may be a first aids or reportable accidents or partially disabled or permanently disabled cases. For prior to that, there may be another 300 non-injury cases, which is nothing but near misses. Okay, putting simply, ఒక మనిషి చనిపోవడానికి ఒక ఆర్గనైజేషన్లో ఇన్ని అంటే 329 యాక్సిడెంట్లు ఆల్రెడీ జరిగి ఉండొచ్చు. మేబీ 29 ఇంజురీ అయ్యి ఉండొచ్చు, ప్రాపర్టీ డ్యామేజ్ అయ్యి ఉండొచ్చు, 300 నియర్ మిస్ కేసులు అయ్యి ఉండొచ్చు. అంటే ఒక సీరియస్ కేసు అవ్వడానికి. దట్ ఈస్ హిస్ హెన్రిచ్ రేషియో. అండ్ ఫ్రాంక్ బర్డ్ ఈస్ టెలింగ్ దట్ 100, 500 and 101. So 500 near misses, if they are not corrected, it leads to 100 minor cases. Then it leads to one major. And John is, his ratio is 119 and 175. So these are the various different sciences or safety specialists. They've done a research and they came out with their ratios, but H.W. Henrich is more popular in nature. So through this ratio differences because of different study conditions, or it proves two important conclusions. No injury accident are far greater than serious or a major injury. It is necessary to control or prevent large number of no injury and minor injury accidents for controlling or preventing a major or disabling accident. It is simple that we should majorly focus on the initial causes, which means no injury cases. So if I take an example of Henrich, so the conclusion is I should act on all the near misses or the 300 non-injury cases. When I say non-injury cases, if your organization is not having control on any non-injury cases, it means in your company there is no near miss reporting system. So ultimately, you are not having control on that 300. So there might be resulting in 29. In the 29 also, if you are not focusing well, you are not implementing the corrective actions on time, then it leads to a fatal. That's why every organization should have a near miss reporting system and a safety observation system, so that we can act early, so we can act proactively. Then we can avoid those minor cases. Following, it will automatically controls the major accident. Now we'll see some of the relevance of this total loss control in India. I mean, these statistics are very old statistics. So just to uh, give a glimpse. So accidental deaths in India. So it is approximately 1,40,000. Non-fatal injuries, 5 lakhs. Workman compensation is being paid to 500 lakhs. ESIC benefits, 20,000 lakhs. A loss due to deficiencies in packing, transportation, storage, and commodities like food and cement fertilizers, 5,000 crores. Loss due to fire, 2,000 crores. Maybe fire, it is an, I mean, right example. We could see most oftenly happens in and around in the companies or near the malls or shops, etc., etc. These are the relevance or the result of if you're not controlling the hazards. Now we'll see some of the fundamentals. So how we can control these losses. It is nothing but how you can control an hazard. So the accidents and unsafe conditions, unsafe actions are symptoms of something wrong in the management system. So these are the symptoms. So when you say symptoms, if you are feeling tired, it means it is a symptom you are going to sick, maybe tomorrow or end of the day or day after tomorrow. Sneezing, it is a symptom to a cold. You're feeling tired, it is a symptom of a fever or something else. So when we say symptoms, which is something wrong in the system, unsafe conditions. So what will be the wrong in the management system which leads to unsafe conditions? What is the gap? అంటే అన్సేఫ్ కండిషన్స్ ఎలా జరుగుతాయి అంటే ఎటువంటి మేనేజ్మెంట్ తప్పిదాల వల్ల లేదంటే మేనేజ్మెంట్ కంట్రోల్ లేకపోవడం వల్ల మనకి అన్సేఫ్ కండిషన్స్ అనేవి క్రియేట్ అవ్వచ్చు. ఎనీ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ఎనీబడి?
Proper
కుమార్,
housekeeping,
సారీ,
not maintaining proper housekeeping,
నాట్ మెయింటైనింగ్ ప్రాపర్ హౌస్ కీపింగ్. ఓకే, సుకుమార్,
improper
శ్రీనివాస్.
tools, im- improper tools and equipment, designing
ఇంప్రాపర్
improper equipment designs and tools, usage of tools.
improper equipments and designs. Okay, maybe I can say they fail to procure right
Yes,
tools and equipments. So design in
usage
the
of
sense
tools
that
and
is a
equipment.
manufacturing defect. When we say management
Yes,
control, they have procured the uh, I mean not fine designed equipments or not suitable equipments for their process.
yes.
What is the management other law, I mean failures, I mean management system?
Im-
non-standard
uh,
tools,
Sorry.
preventive
non-stat,
improper preventive
non-standard
maintenance.
tools.
They are not following preventive maintenance.
Yes, perfect example. Okay, not maintaining preventive maintenance. They don't have a practice of preventive maintenance. Okay, training and awareness, very good, K Raju. That is also one of the gap in the management system. and there is no review mechanism,
Yes.
the performance reviews. That is also
Audits and
one
reviews.
of the gap. Okay, perfect. Yeah, thanks. Let us back to the presentation. There is something wrong in the system. Certain sets of circumstances can be predicted to produce severe injuries, which can be identified and also controlled. So these are the circumstances in the sense, maybe by doing inspections or audits, we can identify the situations where it can lead to the serious injuries. We can control them. And safety should be managed likely any other company function. Management must direct the safety efforts by setting achievable goals, by planning, organizing, and controlling to achieve them. So here, the management should support the efforts of the safety, and also they have to set achievable goals. Sorry.
Hello,
Hello. Yes, sir.
sir. What is unsafe factor, unsafe condition?
Okay. Perfect question. Okay. When I say unsafe, you know about action. What is mean by action? Doing something. So, for example, I'll take uh, I am also acting now. I'm acting as a teacher, or I'm acting as a lecturer.
So human related is the
Action.
action and like equipment related is the condition, I think.
Yes. Human related activities. Whatever the activities or the functions or the behaviors which are not safe for himself or others, that is unsafe action. అంటే మనుషులు చేసే పనులన్నిటినీ కూడాను విచ్ ఆర్ నాట్ సేఫ్, వాటిని మనం యాక్షన్స్ అంటాము. వెన్ వి సే కండిషన్, ఇట్ ఈస్ అబౌట్ ది ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్. ఇట్ టాక్స్ అబౌట్
Environment or equipment?
yes, it talks about the atmosphere. So when I say atmosphere, highly humid or too much of dust, fumes. When I say equipment,
Hmm.
it is in a highly giving noise, vibration. Then the
Building,
slippery surface,
building
water leak. Yeah, all this comes under unsafe condition.
Unsafe conditions.
condition.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Good.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Again, I'm back. Okay. So here the organization has to set the achievable goals. So achievable goals, again, we use in the principle of SMART. Okay. Specific, achievable, time bound. What is that? I'm not able to recall. SMART. Anybody can help me out? The goal should be SMART. Specific, achievable, measurable, and time bound. So whatever the goal you are fixing, it should be specific. It should be achievable. So हवा में हम गोल नहीं बनना है. हवा में लिखेगा तो क्या होगा, और पानी में लिखेगा तो क्या होगा? You can't. It will not withstand. So whatever the goal you are fixing with respect to the safety, it should be specific. So specific. When we take an example, so we make sure that okay, this year we will conduct uh, firefighting training for at least 40% of 40% of our staff. So when I say 40%, if I have 1,000, I have to cover 400 people in this year. So that is a specific. So achievable. So before committing for the training program or before committing for that goal, you should able to understand whether is it possible. Can I get 400 people training? Then measurable in the sense you can able to easily measure by taking the attendance of the people once you conduct the program. Then time bound, what is the period? So if you say year, so either it is a financial year or calendar year, within months, or how many months you are going to, or you are planning to complete within the time period or time bound, you have to complete the your goal or your trainings. That is smart goals. Then the key to effective line safety performance is management procedure that fix the responsibility and the accountability. Line safety in the sense, in the process areas, you should clearly define roles and responsibilities of the workers and supervisors and the managers with respect to safety. It is not about their own department level objectives or roles. We should also fix the responsibilities towards safety, because safety is everybody's responsibility or everybody is accountable for it. It is not that only safety is responsible to safety officer. Everybody enjoys their own roles in their activity. So we should have proper roles and responsibilities. Then the function of safety is to locate and define the operational errors that allows accidents to occur. They should be able to locate operational errors or the gaps are which is there in the process or procedures, like process safety or functional safety or general operation safety, general safety, etc. There we should be able to locate those errors to prevent the accidents. Okay, that is the some of the fundamentals. Now we'll see the management for this loss control, how we can do it. So one is the risk department, which is nothing but safety department. Risk manager and the departmental heads should first formulate a total loss control policy for the company. When I say total loss control policy, it is nothing but a safety policy should be written. A loss prevention committee should be formed to execute the policy. Responsibilities should be fixed. So when I say loss prevention committee, it is nothing but a safety committee should be formed to implement the policy. Okay. What are the major key points we'll cover in safety policy? What are the points we could see generally in safety policy? What is mean by safety policy?
It is reflected to our organizational goal or achievement.
Mm-hmm.
What they will do. How can they manufacturing and provide this safety and environmental protection for the company?
It is a promise of our organization.
Okay, promise or a commitment. Okay, that is fine. Who signs on this policy?
Like chairman or
Chairperson of the company.
MDs.
Okay, the topmost person who can who takes the decision on the safety related activities, ultimate decision maker. Okay, what are the points will be there? The Gramarov mentioned some of the points. Anybody can give some more insights?
Environmental protection, human protection, and quality to values, and legal respect to legal authorities and rules and regulations they are following.
Mm-hmm.
All those
That
will
current
be
regulations.
reflected.
Okay, fine. Thanks. Thanks, Ramarao and Niru.
Welcome.
So basically, we'll create a policy. So that is the commitment of top management towards safety. So basically, they will give in a wording that we provide a safe and healthy workplace to all our employees, and they say that we prevent our operations will not pollute the atmosphere, and they will say that we'll be following all applicable legal requirements and standards to our operations. They may say that continual improvement of our people, and then we'll communicate the policy with our team members, and it will be revised based on certain conditions. Whenever a top management changes, or in case of any major accident happens, or based on their management system. So sometimes nothing has changed, but still they will revise the policy. They will update the policy just within a signature. Okay, so it's just nothing but a commitment. Yeah, by special
Please,
attention to, sorry,
please, uh, when it will revise the policy,
sorry.
when it will revise the policy, when it is required or changes, revised, or any period of time.
Yeah, that is depends on the management system, or depends on the organization. Most of the policies they used to revise once in a year, twice in a year. Sometimes they may do in between also. It depends on
Okay.
certain circumstances. For example, who is signing on the policy, he is no more with your organization, then definitely
Okay.
it will go for a revision. In the second case, in case of any major accident happen, then you are going to add in a further commitment, then the policy gets revised, and your process get expanded, or the scope is increased, then the policy get revised. Or any operational changes happens, any hazard is changed in your process, then your policy get revised. Or it is there is a defined frequency of revision in your management system, quality management system, then also it will
Okay.
get revised. It depends on the
Thank
circumstances. Yeah,
you.
thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, so as I mentioned, the loss prevention committee should be formed to ensure the policy. The responsibility should be fixed by a special attention to employee selection, placements, training, participation, and adopting safety in design, safety audits, and also checklist. And the goal should be achieved. So we should have to choose the people. How we choose the people in the committee? So there should be an equal participation with the management representatives and the worker representatives. At least once they have to meet in 90 days, minimum 3 months. At least once in a quarter, they have to meet, or they have to conduct a safety committee. And also we'll give some training to the people who are participating in this committees. What is their major agenda for conducting these committee meetings and all. Okay, now we'll see the basic steps or procedure is necessary. One is for loss control, hazard identification. So even I have seen in Gulf, there also they used to they'll given a booklet. Actually, it is tearable, and ఒక మనం రాసేసి చింపేసి ఇచ్చేయచ్చు. సో ఎనీ హజార్డ్ ఆర్ అన్సేఫ్ కండిషన్ దే విల్ గివ్ 50 రియాల్. అంటే మనం ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ 50 రూపీస్ అనుకుందాం, అక్కడ రియాల్ అంటారు. సో దిల్ గివ్ 50 రియాల్ హజార్డ్ ఐడెంటిఫికేషన్, అండ్ ఈవెన్ సేఫ్టీ సజెషన్ ఆల్సో. So initially we have to identify the hazard. Until unless you are not known, or you are not known about your hazard, you can't able to take any actions. Until unless you don't know your enemy, you can't able to attack. The same way you should understand the or identify the hazards, then evaluation of the hazard and their detailed analysis. So you have to evaluate. It is nothing but again HIRA. How to evaluate? So what is the potential of the hazard? How severe it is in case of any accident happens? So who will be the immediate vicinity of the people going to expose? What will be the expected property loss or damage, etc. Then planning and implementing measures to reduce that hazards. So how I can reduce the potential? So I can reduce the potential. So previously, if you take an automobile as an example, the initial days, 70s and 80s and 90s, so there we don't have any airbags. we have only safety belt. That is the one control we have. Later, the technology got improved. We got ABS. We got number of, initially it got 2 bags, then 4 bags. Now it is becoming 6 airbags. So you're improved your systems. So we have to plan for it, implementing the measures to reduce the hazard potential. Then frequent review. So once you implement it, you have to review that. Okay, whatever the things I have implemented, as I mentioned, uh, airbags for the car, we can't review. How can you review? We can't review it. Either we can see that the airbags is there or not. If you want to review physically, until unless you are not doing any accident, you can't able to see that. Review in the sense the systems are in place or not, whether they are in active or not. So airbag is not in a perfect example here. So I'll take an example of uh, electric beam is a
Fire
photoelectric
hydrant
sensor.
system.
Yeah, fire hydrant system, sprinkler system, or photoelectric beam. Sometimes what will happen, interlocks, even door interlocks is in a perfect example. Due to the production pressure, maintenance team is always often to switch off or bypass the interlocks. So that is a perfect example. We can review whether all these controls or functions are in active mode or not. Okay, then application this method brings the following benefits. So what are the benefits you'll get? We can minimizing the damage to man, machine and material, saving on insurance or a better insurance cover at lower cost. Okay, now we'll see some of the control measures in monitoring the loss control department. One is rules and regulations, control measures. What are the various rules and regulations which are there? For example, uh, for lifting tools and tackles, what is the rules and regulation? It has to be calibrated based on defined frequency. Then traffic rules, it is different, again, um, applicable for different industry. Standard procedures and instructions, you should have standard procedures and instructions, do's and don'ts, SOPs, etc. Measurement of safety performance by various ratings, you should have a control. Means you should have a system in place to measure your safety performance. For example, number of near misses reported, that is in a what do you call leading indicator. Number of trainings conducted, that is a leading indicator. Number of safety improvement activities taken up, or number of safety kaizens uh, implemented. So those are the safety ratings. Then occupational health and safety standards and rules, it is specific to your organization, because every company will not have same accidents or same hazards. It is differ from operation to operations. Investigation and losses, so you should have accident investigation systems in place. Then summary of analysis, you should have results and also their uh, analysis to take corrective actions. Okay, then JSA, job safety analysis, I think most of us are very much familiar with this. So the JSA is widely used as an a hazard identification tool in the while issuing a work permit system. So before giving a work permit, we used to do JSA, job safety analysis. So in this, what we do, job safety analysis. Any idea what we do in job safety analysis? JSA.